Hey guys, my name is Birdie and welcome back to my channel. This is Clown Cows. Disclaimer. Anything I say, write, imply, or speculate on is my personal thoughts and opinions and should never be taken as fact, because it's not. This channel, including the comment section, is nothing more or less than the sharing of opinions, personal views on publicly accessible information first made public by its owners. I'm a flawed human, so my opinions may be flawed as well. I'm an expert in nothing, so please ask an expert if you have questions. Trigger warning. This video will discuss fetishes, including those related to food and consistencies regarding fetishes in general. This may be triggering or disturbing for some of you, so please don't watch or listen if you think it may be difficult for you to hear. Okay, if you're still here, I'm ready if you are, so let's talk about this. Today's topic centers around my idea or speculation that Amber is working within the feeder community, and there are a few clues that she has dropped that have helped point me toward that conclusion. To begin, Amber is 600 plus pounds now. She at least looks every ounce of it. We know Amber has low self-esteem. I mean, sure, she fakes high self-esteem. She gets smug and conceited, and she gets to feeling herself and acting like she's better than the rest of us. But there's just no way that she can care so much about her physical, outward beauty and continue to gain weight that is so extreme she can barely walk and breathe at the same time, and then act unbothered by that and become even more smug the bigger she gets. Unless there is someone whispering in her ear that she's beautiful the way she is. And I suspect she's hearing many of those whispers from many different people. She's always fought her food dependencies. Granted, she didn't fight them hard, nor did she fight them for long, but Amber cared enough to put in the effort of a fleeting thought, and maybe a journal entry. She's always thought that she could just start a new diet and save her life. That was before the feeder entered the room, though. If we look back, Amber was on semaglutide when the feeder and Amber began dating. Everyone warned Amber of their fears that the new girlfriend was dangerous. This wasn't solely based on rumors either, like a lot of things that happen in Goral World. But this was based on publicly available online information, photos, posts, and we saw and read it all. There were entire mini documentaries that were made about it. It was morbid, shocking, and the introduction for many of us into those types of fetishes or kinks. It was strangely fascinating, and it cemented itself in girl world history. Basically, bringing a feeder of all things into the Amberverse when so many of us had spent more than a decade trying to encourage Amber to lose weight to save her life was a big fucking deal. Amber denied the obvious, but we wouldn't expect much more than that. She called us names, blamed us for her relationship problems. She deflected, manipulated, gaslit, and she failed miserably. We still knew what was going on, and we still saw her weight gain despite the fact that she was claiming she was losing. She acted the way many addicts act when their dependency and the enjoyment thereof is threatened. With the feeder being the biggest threat to any chance Amber would have at sobriety from her active food addiction, we panicked. The feeder laughed, and Amber made excuse after excuse to stop taking her weight loss injection. Fast forward to Amber's time in Wisconsin. That was difficult to watch when she even took the time to upload. She was constantly fighting or arguing with her feeder girlfriend. She was seemingly depressed, but getting bigger and bigger by the day. The weight gain was undeniable, and the videos of the feeder talking sexually about the food Amber was eating, wanting her to describe it on the camera, no doubt to humiliate the fat woman eating the ice cream rolled in candy. It was as if the feeder had made Amber believe that there is a flip side to the world that she had been living in. You know, the world of weight loss and health and beauty being synonymous. And then on that feeder side, in her world, there was the idea that weight gain and beauty were synonymous, and furthermore, could be sexy, desirable, and Amber could be fond over. She had gained about 60 pounds in 3 months, but I believe her girlfriend led her to believe she was like a pinup model, with the feeder even calling Amber late at night after she had returned back to Oklahoma just so she could be teased with a photo or a video of Amber's legs. The same legs that Amber had, until that point, covered at all costs. Pants in the summertime, and hell, even pants in the swimming pool. Amber's shame had become her glory, and the parts that made her feel ugly or sick or undesirable on this side made her like a goddess on the other one. We can't really blame Amber if she is making content for feeders, and I do believe she is. I believe it has become a main source of income for her. I mean, it does play into everything that Amber has ever wanted. She gets to indulge herself within the deepest realms of her food dependency. She gets to be the it girl, the beauty queen, the woman who is wholly desired even for the parts that she was once ashamed of. Couple that with consistent praise and admiration from feeders, along with the money that she would be getting paid to enable her to live the lifestyle that she enjoys, and there it is. It's like the cause and the effect are summed up in one word, like an equation with only one number but an obvious sum. Feeder. That's the word. It's like the beginning and the end for Amber. The equation and the outcome is just that one word. I believe Amber is making regular content for feeders because I believe that is something that fulfills her every desire. She's failed at weight loss for over a decade, actually for her whole life, and she has finally found someone, a group, that not only accepts her exactly the way that she is, but praises her for being this way, that encourages her to stay this way, and that tells her words of motivation and admiration so that she continues to get bigger and bigger. And by the looks of it, she is. Now, Amber has put out clues. That's at least what I'm going to call them. And these things really caught my attention. If we think back for a moment of when Amber and the feeder were in one of their many fights, verbal arguments, the feeder, who in general would get sexual gratification from controlling and dominating, was in an argument with Amber. And to me at least, it began to read like foreplay or a script intended to arouse the other. And it's the fight that they had where Amber had told the feeder that the feeder was strong. "You are so strong," she said. And Amber proceeded to exemplify her own weakness by saying that she can't even carry in groceries. Now, I know a lot of people thought that Amber was saying that she was too weak to have really scared or risked true harm to the feeder during that altercation that they had had. And whoever believes that may just be correct. But what if that's not what was happening? What if Amber was in a role, playing out a role that she had become accustomed to, where she is the submissive and the feeder, of course, is the dom? Because if you think about it, when Amber got questioned repeatedly about that part, when it got leaked in those messages, she quickly said that she's always actually been able to bring in the groceries. That made me think maybe she really can, and she was just playing out a role for the sexual gratification of the dom. I decided to do a quick Google search to look for clues that someone might be secretly making feeder content for a living. And I found some stuff, and I'm going to read it to you because I know some of you are listening and not watching. But here is the AI overview, and I'm also going to post it on here for those of you who wish to follow along, okay? Clues that someone is secretly making feeder content generally involve specific repeated behaviors focused on encouraging weight gain, and a particular fixation on eating and body size, often done without explicit disclosure of a related fetish. Okay, it says key signs to look for. And as we go over these, I want for you to keep in mind that this overview was written for the feeder, but we are going to look at the flip side of that so that we can apply it to Amber as the feedee, okay? Okay, so it says insistent encouragement to eat. They frequently offer food, especially high calorie options, and insist that you eat it even if you decline or state that you are full. If we look at what Amber has been doing on camera here lately, she has been eating enormous amounts of food. There's absolutely no way that she's still hungry when she's eating all this, okay? She's choosing high calorie foods as well. People were saying things to her, criticizing her because some of the coffee drinks that she was having in the morning to go along with her food were several hundred calories just for the drink. So she's absolutely choosing very high calorie dense foods. Next is the fixation on weight gain. They express an unusual amount of pleasure or interest when you gain weight, or may compliment your growing size, particularly focusing on your belly. Now, what stands out about this one to me regarding Amber is the angle of the camera that she has been using lately on those live streams. She has the camera sitting as low as it can sit, going up, which is the worst possible angle. That makes even thin people look a lot larger, okay? She used to have the camera more straight across, but now she's choosing these angles to make herself look as big as she can possibly look. Also, there is a very specific short that she had done where she's wearing this maroon or dark red shirt as a dress. And again, she's got the camera aimed very low, even though she's standing up, which makes her look bigger than she's ever looked before. Reaction channels were making entire videos just off of this, okay? She looked huge. I'm going to not show that clip, but I am going to include it in the description. I don't think this is one of the videos that she had removed, but I'm going to put it in the description so that y'all can look at it if you choose to. But the camera angle when she did this short, this specific clip in the short where she's showing off what she's wearing, it is focusing on her stomach. It is making her belly look bigger than it has ever looked before, and it was absolutely shocking. Discouragement of weight loss. If you mention dieting, exercising, or getting in shape, they might subtly or explicitly discourage you from doing so, saying things such as you don't need to lose weight or convincing you to skip the gym. So this one doesn't exactly apply to Amber, except we know that she's definitely not counting her steps. She's not doing anything that would promote any type of health or weight loss, okay? Next is attention to the act of eating. They may be fixated on watching you eat, deriving pleasure from the act itself, and might encourage stuffing or eating large quantities. All of the shorts that Amber had done recently on YouTube, these were about a month ago, they were all focused on her eating. Her 9 to 5 non-work day, all these stupid shorts that she was doing. It was always the camera at a really bad angle, making her look even bigger than she is, and it was her staring into the camera, her mouth absolutely gaping wide open while she shoves these enormous forkfuls of food into her face, nodding, moaning, and everything else. This is absolutely feeder content. Next is the creation of specific content types. Now, this one is self-explanatory. We've already gone over this in a way. It says their social media or private content might feature numerous mukbang-style videos. These are videos of people eating large amounts of food. Images of large meals or discussions centered around intentional weight gain. When Amber was recently asked about her health or her weight loss, she said that was a gray area. So she's kind of admitting that she's not really focusing on weight loss right now. She's not focusing on trying to get healthy right now. She's told us as much. She has shown us the way that she's eating, the amounts that she's eating, that she's not holding back. She has filmed herself going to get DoorDash after DoorDash delivered to her, and she is absolutely focusing her content, especially right now, on the fact that she is gaining and she is showcasing her body as it gets even larger. That is what she's doing with those shorts that were most recently uploaded, and again, that was about a month ago. Next on this is hiding the behavior. Members of the feederism community often hide their practices from friends and family due to the stigma, so their actions might feel secretive or confined to private interactions. Now, for the feeder, this would make sense to me, but of course, the feedee, who is needing to attract customers, they are needing to attract people who have that fetish or they're into this type of kink. They can't be too private about it. I think a lot of the babies or the people who encourage Amber, some of them are trolls, sure, but I think some of them are part of these feeder communities. However, I have a very, very, very strong feeling that Amber is not just doing this on YouTube. I believe that Amber is part of other websites where she is actively making videos similar to that crumble cookie video, just sexually explicit videos where she's showing off her body and doing things in a sexual manner to attract attention from specific groups. I do believe that she's doing that for a living. I think this is Amber's main source of income right now. Now, this is only an opinion and not in fact. Keep that in mind. This is only speculation. But how else would Amber be making the money to continue living the lifestyle that she enjoys living? Amber has not been getting the money off of her YouTube channel. She hasn't been getting the views. She had a lot of drama in August leading up to her leave in September, very early September. She came back about a month later, and yeah, there was a lot of drama because that's when things were getting leaked. The voice notes and text messages started getting leaked. But those leaks didn't really gain Amber any profit. It didn't really gain Amber any more attention to her channel. It got attention for the reaction channels that were covering it. It got attention brought to the feeder, but it didn't really get a lot of heavy traffic to Amber's YouTube channel. So I believe Amber has the means to spend thousands upon thousands and thousands of dollars per month on her DoorDash deliveries alone, not to mention the little bit of entertainment, the weekly bingo, that's not free, and Amber does still have her shopping addiction. That's something else that if you will go back and watch her shorts, pay attention to the background. There are a couple of shorts where you can see her wagon by the door that has trash in it, as well as a lot of Amazon boxes. So Amber is still very much ordering what appears to be daily. There is a lot of Amazon boxes. So doing something to make the money to live this lifestyle. So she's either got tens of thousands built up in the bank that she's been saving, which I highly, highly doubt because she's not responsible. Amber does not know how to manage money. She is new to having money, and therefore she doesn't quite understand how to manage it yet. She doesn't have any discipline. She sees it, she wants it, she buys it, okay? So that's just not conducive to her YouTube channel. I had also looked up the estimation of how much she makes per month on her YouTube channel, and it may be completely incorrect, but the estimation for right now for Amber is that she's making less than $2,000 per month off of her YouTube channel. That won't even cover her DoorDash. That doesn't even come close to covering the fast food. Now, if she has a little bit in savings, that could help supplement what she's doing right now, but by no means would she be able to survive off of her YouTube alone. That's my opinion. Again, not fact, but it is my opinion. And so I believe that Amber has turned to the feeder community to make the money that she wants to make. It would be quick money, it would be easy money. All she would have to do is film these videos, kind of like the TikToks that she does anyway. She films those for attention and she does not even get paid for TikTok. So, if she's willing to film videos where she's feeling herself and trying to act sexy in a video for free, then why should we believe that she won't film a video acting sexy for a community that will pay her very heftily for that type of content? I just believe that it makes sense that this is what she's doing. However, I want to know what you think. Do you think Amber is making money off of the feeder community? And I'm not talking about YouTube. I'm talking about outside of YouTube. Do you think she's part of websites or areas of the interwebs where she is making money off of showing her body to people who fetishize over people who look like Amber? If you do not believe she's doing that, then how the hell is she surviving? Do you think that she just has hundreds of thousands saved in the bank? Do you think that maybe she's on disability? How is she surviving if she's not making the feeder content? Because we know that she doesn't have an actual 9 to 5 job, okay? That was just absolutely ridiculous when she tried to cosplay an employee. What do you think she's doing to survive, though? I have to know what you think. Let me know. I will be back soon. Be safe, be happy, be loved. Talk to you later. Bye for now.